We are not starving artists. Did you eat today? Did you eat yesterday? Are you eating right now? I am, and I have been. We're not starving artists. And I want to talk about this. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Philip with 1L. I'm your host. This is I Digress, the podcast where I rant, I rave, I may even ramble, but ultimately, I digress. Today's episode, We Are Not Starving Artists, is all about breaking the starving artist myth. Last episode of I Digress, I Am a Work in Progress, we discussed how vital it can be to shift your identity and take some action. And so I want to continue on that path today and talk a little bit about money and this trope that we've been sold, this toxic trope of the starving artist and what it means to be a creative professionally. Let's get into it. Like romanticizing the struggle because it takes you to such deep depths of creative expression and profound artistic. It's tacky, okay? Romanticizing struggling is tacky. And we've all been guilty of it from time to time. We've all been sold the victim narrative. It's really tacky. The real awesome version of you is not a victim, is not broke, is not struggling. The main difference, I would say, what I've witnessed in my years on this earth between being broke and being wealthy, whatever that means, is having choice, having the freedom of choice. So leaning into that, if you have choice in your everyday life, you're wealthy. We all have at least a little bit of wealth. I digress. Romanticizing struggling and acting like it's cool, like this attitude online to be like, yeah, well, I'm broke anyway, that is holding you back. And this is something I had to learn. Identifying as depressed, identifying as broke. I mean, like, if that's really where you are right now, it shouldn't be something to be ashamed of, but I'm just saying, like, it's not something you have to resign to either. You don't have to claim anything except positive narratives in your life. So think about, like, something like dabbing, right? Like, I never got into dabbing, but I don't even know if did I do that? Wait. Is it you do like that? Something, dabbing. You know what it is. Say you hate dabbing. You think it's so stupid, but you're also low-key obsessed, and you and your friends start, dabbing. Doing things ironically is not a thing. Once you dab, even if you're, making fun, you're a dabber. You're a dabber fully dabbing. And so the same thing goes when you're making jokes about being a broke bitch or talking about how expensive everything is or whatever. You are perpetuating this storyline that you're a broke bitch. And it's time to break up with broke bitchness, okay? It was cute. It was what it was, but it's over. Being broke is out. The ideal version of you has the money, has the means to take care of yourself, to help others. It's not about living outside of your means and none of that. That's not really a real thing, but I understand a resistance to that because it just feels intimidating when you grew up poor without money. I get it. But ultimately, being broke is not sustainable. For instance, I've been getting massages regularly this year. It has made such a massive difference in my body. It's one thing to choose to spend your money on certain things, but to say like, I can't because I don't have enough, like that is not sustainable is what I'm trying to say. Because ultimately, yeah, we want to be able to take care of ourselves and our loved ones and provide the life that is going to be our happiest, most fulfilled life here on earth. So this struggling, starving artist trope in which we accept and even expect financial instability, low pay as an artist, we are pouring gasoline on our broke bitch fire, and we can just as easily become aware of those thoughts, those ways we're identifying in life, and shift them to whatever we want them to be. For instance, there was one time, maybe the end of 2022, when I had just moved into this place, and I had a lot of money saved up, but I was in between like jobs at the time, and I was like figuring out a career shift and all this stuff. So even though I had about, I don't know, at least 14K or so at this time, I was always stressed about money. I was like, oh my god, freaking out, thinking about it always. Our thoughts create our reality, okay? And I was washing dishes, the sponge, the corner of the sponge peeled up a little bit, and I had this pang of like, I'm gonna have to buy a new sponge. Oh my god, another expense. And then I was like, Philip, oh my god, no wonder you are perpetuating cycles of financial instability in your life. Aside from the fact that I still honestly am not super well versed in like investing and trading the stock market and, you know, real estate and this and that. And I'm just now building multiple streams of income and passive income and stuff like that. But I don't even honestly have to do all that. If my thoughts about money were just positive, I would have a positive money story. But if I'm sitting here freaking out about a sponge that costs at most $2, and on a conscious level, I'm not freaked out about the sponge. I'm not freaked out about buying a sponge. No big deal. Scan that shit and pop it in the bag. But I caught that subconscious reaction in that moment and realized if I'm freaking out about little tiny expenses, that is informing my reality. That is telling God, the universe, whatever you prefer to label it all, that I'm a broke bitch, and the universe conforms to your thought. The reality you live conforms to the thoughts you have. So if you're like, oh my god, $1.78, that's gonna paint everything in your world. So do with that information what you will. But I had that moment of revelation and realization. Since then, I have increased my income. I have a super flexible job. Like, I've really created a great scenario for myself. Like I said, now I'm focusing on multiple streams of income. I had an epiphany recently because I was scripting out. I like to journal a lot. I believe in the power of words, affirmations, writing, things of that nature. I think her name on YouTube is the Love Gal. She's into law of attraction and stuff like that. She's not into it. She coaches on that. You know, that's her content. Law of attraction. I digress. She has some scripting packets. So I was doing an increase your income scripting packet, just writing out, you know, what I foresee for myself, what I visualize. And I realized in that moment I had never visualized or even verbalized what I want, what I see for myself, having money and being situated in the most ideal way. And doing that really, really helped. Just the way we speak about things, the way we think about things, it has a lot of power. There's infinite realities possible. If you find yourself in a less than ideal situation and you want out of it, you absolutely 1000% have the power. And that is my only point in pointing these things out, is empowering me and you, us, so we can live our best lives, our best artist lives. I digress. So I had the revelation that the more we separate money and work, the healthier relationship we can have with both of them. Money is not negative. Money is not hard to make. All these labels that we've given it, it's not the root of all evil. Would they say money doesn't grow on trees? LOL, it kind of does. It's paper. Paper comes from trees. All of that is true and none of it's true. You get what I'm saying? So release the negative connotations you have attached to money if you have any. Most of us do. That's just the way of the world. None of the negatives about money have to be your story. And then when it comes to work, work is not negative inherently. Work is positive when it's something you enjoy, something that provides you gratification and spiritual fulfillment. But for a lot of us, we have been brainwashed into believing money and work completely overlap and we need them to survive, to the point where we will put money and work above our own needs as a human being. And it causes a lot of grief. I've been there. But I've realized, like I said, that if we can separate money and work, because work is really just one way to generate money. It's one way. But of course, we're programmed to be like little worker bees for this capitalist society and government, whatever. You get it. Because of that, we're not really taught financial literacy. We're not taught wealth mindset, abundance mindset. We're trained to just work for corporations, you know? In reality, there are so many ways, especially today with the internet, to create passive income for yourself, or residual income, some people like to call it. Basically where you do a little bit of work up front and then it continues to generate money for you long after you've done the work. So many ways to do that online. So many ways to have little side hustles that don't require full-time work from you. So many ways to generate large sums of money on the internet. For instance, what I'm trying to do right now in my journey of separating money and work as much as possible is I want to monetize my YouTube channel. For me, creating content doesn't feel like work. Being creative is who I am through and through 100%. Making content legitimately is just fun for me. My intention is, as a content creator, to generate all my baseline income through content creation, through the internet. And then whatever I do for work, whether I'm making movies, performing stand-up comedy, acting in a commercial, you know, whatever it is that I want to do for fun because I love it. I'm not there because I need the money. My money's taken care of. I'm not on set, on stage because I need money or because I'm selling out and I need to make a page. Like, I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it because I legitimately want to be there. I'm doing it because I love it. I'm doing it because I want to do it. And the money is just a bonus because my money is taken care of. So I've been really stepping into that and understanding that that is the way forward, in my opinion. Generating passive income, residual income from ideally multiple sources that just rolls in regularly. And then whatever work you decide to do, which again, work is positive when it's something that fulfills you and you're not doing it just because you got to pay bills. When you're really doing work that fulfills you, it's incredible. And the more that you're doing it because you love it and not because of money, the better it will be. And the more you are empowered because you're generating your own income, the healthier everything will be. There's nothing worse than going to a job you hate because you got to make money and feeling this pressure of money all the time because all this power is on this job because that is your one source of income and you don't have power and authority in that narrative. And it's time we take our power back. We are not starving artists. I ate good today, okay? I don't know about you. I ate well. But if not, it's never too late. You can go grab a snack. I'll wait for 10 seconds while I find my next thought. Listen. I don't know all the answers. I still have a lot of learning to do myself when it comes to money and financial literacy, investing, trading, stocks, bonds, Roth IRAs, passive income, LLCs. I'm aware of these things and that's a positive, I suppose. I'm not super well versed, so I'm not going to pretend I know all the answers to everything, but I have learned in my 31 years what not to do in many ways. And the most important thing, in my humble opinion, is how we choose to identify. So if you are still identifying as a broke bitch, if you are still stressed out about the cost of living, if you talk about it all the time, the cost of gas, the cost of this, the cost of that, you are caught in the trap the Matrix has created, and you have willfully stepped into it and are perpetuating a cycle of poverty. And I'm speaking again directly to myself and something I have become aware of and something I'm so passionate about helping not only myself but everyone I love to move out of so that we can live our best, most free, most creative, most fulfilled life. You don't have to live in this cycle of make money, work. You literally can be traveling around, making your art, and living on your own terms. The way we identify is important. Become aware of the way you think. For instance, a lot of times when I would tap my card, I would get this pang of like, I always have enough money. So why am I feeling like that? Releasing these things and shifting it. So now every time I tap my card, I'm like, thank you, Lord Jesus, for always providing an abundant, whatever the fuck. I just say some fun stuff and it works for me. I mean, I have definitely leveled up my income and I still am right now. So I'm speaking from experience, and I would love to continue speaking on this as I learn more and as I grow more. I would love to hear your journey. How are you separating money from work? How are you shifting your identity? Money can be an uncomfortable topic, but it really doesn't have to be. That also is contributing to the poverty cycle, Let's talk about it. Like, there's enough money for all of us. We have been told otherwise, but there's enough money for all of us. And that's a reality I want to live in, where I'm living my most free, most authentic life. I'm thoughting and bopping all around. I'm performing, I'm filming, I'm connecting, I'm hanging out with my friends who I have friends literally at this point in my life all around the world. I'm so tired of friends being like, oh, I gotta work, or we're limiting ourselves so much when really we deserve to be traveling around and, shaking our asses in other countries, living our wildest dreams, performing on the coolest stages, meeting the coolest, most creative people. I don't want money to ever be the reason why you don't do something you want to do, period. Let me know what you're up to. Let me know if this episode resonated with you. I would love to talk about money again in the future. Like I said, I'm definitely committed to learning more and continuing to expand and grow. I hope the same for you. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it so much. I'll see you next time, in which we discuss the great millennial scam, college. College and the school system. It's time we go in. And how do we get over this? Especially millennials who were extremely scammed into going to college and left with a little piece of paper that somehow has a debt on it. I'm confused, truly. Until next time, I digress. Mwah.